I want to share a failure that I've had with you guys today. I'm built a wholesale line and I am working on filling a couple of orders, and I'm really excited. It's been very successful, and I'm feeling really positive about it on the whole. However, one of the items that I am making is it's not a huge plate, but it's a large-ish plate. And the thing about flat, lower profile items is you kind of have to balance between how much space they take in the kiln versus how much like loss you get versus how much you can sell them for. So one of the issues specifically with plates is that if you are bisque firing, which is the first firing, when you take raw clay, make your piece, and it goes into the kiln for the first time for the bisque firing, typically you can pile things on top of each other, and that having that at capacity allows your costs to come down. Otherwise, you would have to stack each piece individually on the shelf, and that takes up a ton of room. And when you're doing large orders like what I'm doing right now, that means you would have to run your kiln multiple times. Typically, I can get 2 to 3 glaze loads out of one bisque kiln, and that's been pretty consistent for a long time. But this particular piece that I launched as part of the wholesale line it has a higher rate of loss than my other pieces by like a lot. And I am going to have to figure out how to balance how many I can fit in the kiln with how many I can sell and how much I should be selling them for. I just put 45 of these particular pieces in the kiln through the bisque firing, and I have lost about a third in this kiln. So let me show you. So these are the pieces they've just finished waxing the bottoms of all of these pieces, and there's a few behind me as well. And then these are the pieces that I found broken as I was coming through and waxing all of the pieces. It's clearly stress fractures. It's happened because I stacked the pieces. And, if you go back onto my page, you'll see I show that happening all the time. And it's usually not a problem. But for this particular style of plate, it's been very problematic. So this one's got a nice scratch, crack there. This one's got a nice crack there, and so on and so forth. Like it's just, yeah. So I am just going to have to figure out how to fill these orders. I'm probably going to have to split one of the orders and just remake the work. Obviously, I'm going to have to put more time. I think the actual result is that I'm going to have to make more time in my making schedule to allow these pieces to dry flat, not stacked, and then hopefully I can carefully stack them in the kiln. Yeah, that's the thing that keeps bugging me though. They were pretty dry when I stacked them. So, I'm going to have to work this out. I'm just going to have to put more time into my making cycle, and I'm going to maybe have to increase the price of these to account for the fact that it's going to cost more for me to run these through the kiln if I can't stack them. So, and maybe I can only stack 2 or 3, but that means more kiln space because if I can't stack like 5 and 6, it's like double the space that they're going to have to take to be able to be in the kiln and for it to be efficient. And I'm in California, so it's not like electricity is super cheap here. But in any case, I've been doing this for 20 years. The wholesale piece I haven't done for about 10. So I am like getting back into what that process looks like. It's a new product line, so it's a learning curve, and I'll figure it out. But yeah, it's not all cherries and roses in ceramics. There's a lot of loss, and that's one of the things that my pottery practice has taught me is how to let things go and be patient and troubleshoot. And yeah, so anyway, thought I'd share. Thanks.